You're watching Black Belt Patrick, Purple Belt Luca, and me, a Blue Belt, sparring 7 rounds for the No-Gi European Championship camp at BJJ Lab Zurich to test my Blue Belt skills. Stick around for a variety of techniques like triangles, darce chokes, whatever the hell this is, a Japanese word, and some cool passes and back takes. It's 9 a.m. in Zurich, Switzerland, and I'm headed on the tram to day 4 of the No-Gi Euros training camp. I can hear the music already. That's Patrick and Luca getting ready to whoop my ass. Okay, let's get serious for a second. So first, Patrick shows me some single leg takedown variations because my wrestling needs some work. Then we move into 6-minute rounds, and first up is Pat and Luca. So they're gonna start off the round pretty slow because it's like their first round together and they don't want to hurt each other because they're supposed to compete in Euros next week. And Patrick's gonna hit a quick little single leg X sweep, go back for an ankle lock, but then he's gonna use that to come up to reverse positions. And instead of getting a deep underhook, Patrick opts for that armpit post and uses that to slide through. And then he's gonna start circling to north-south. And Luca's turning pretty hard in towards him, so Patrick's gonna keep circling, and since Luca's got that overback grip, Patrick's gonna use that to further isolate the arm as he hops around the back. And then check this out, he's gonna throw the top leg over the torso, and if he can pin Luca's far arm, he can step that right leg through to fall back for a triangle, just like he does here. So now the only problem here is Patrick isn't quite at the right angle to finish this triangle. He needs to be on the other side, but in order to get there, he's gonna turn Luca over and almost come up to a mounted triangle. But instead what he does here is he falls back to adjust the angle better and then come up to the mount to finish it. And instead of finishing the triangle, he's actually gonna finish it with an arm lock, which is pretty dope. So on the reset, Patrick's gonna try to be pretty sneaky and just wrap a guillotine grip and dive over Luca's guard, but Luca says, "No way, sir." And then from bottom, Luca's gonna try a double ankle sweep. Patrick sneaks his right arm in and then grabs a tight waist, comes back up on top. Luca tries to block that, but Patrick should be a mathematician because he's better at cutting angles. That didn't make any sense. Luca's really committing to this cross shoulder pose, so Patrick uses that as an opportunity to sneak in a darce grip, and they're gonna start hugging it out here, and they're gonna start rolling all over the place. Luca is trying his best to defend this choke, but it's just a matter of time before this happens and they get on the side and Luca has to tap. All right, now it's my turn to go against Luca. Luckily, he pulled guard because he's really tall and really strong, and he's a purple belt. And for some reason, I decided to go for a body lock when his limbs are literally twice the size of mine. You can see later in a different round, he's actually able to just lock up a full triangle around my body lock and then mount me. I don't know how that happened, but this is why I'm a featherweight. Anyway, he kind of goes easy, and later on, he told me that he decided not to lock up that triangle this time, but he does have this Dagestani handcuff grip, which he's gonna try to use to go into a triangle submission. And he's gonna go for a hip bump sweep. I keep the body lock. I grab my own Dagestani handcuff and start trying to flatten him out with the cross face. He throws in that butterfly hook, so I dig an underhook with my left arm. And then you can't see it on camera, but with my right arm, I was posting on his hip so that I could step over to mount. I'm trying to isolate an arm, but I don't really have that many attacks from mount, so I'm just kind of doing random stuff as he escapes via a kipping escape and then starts to elevate me with his butterfly hooks. He enters into a single leg X, but little does he know, I watch a lot of Gordon Ryan DVDs, so I backstep out of his Ashigarami, try to go reverse knee on belly, but then he ankle picks me as I wrap up a guillotine grip. My track record with guillotines is horrible, so I just stand up, and he keeps a really tight hold of my foot as I try to run away, and then he grabs my waist, and then from here, this is just horrific. He does a backwards trip, and then he's got that low, like tight body lock, and I watched a Danaher DVD where he was showing locking a Kimura from the back. So I have the Kimura, and I'm gonna try to do stuff with it. I eventually escape my knees, and then I go to half guard, and then I do this cool circle around thingy to the T Kimura position and come up on top. And that was cool, even though he was going really light. Thanks, Luca. Now I'm just in a high tripod spinning around in circles trying to get to north-south, but I disengage because he starts to throw his legs over the top. I push on his knee to get him to post so I can enter into a body lock again, and this time he's able to push my elbow line out momentarily, and I felt the threat of the triangle, but he locked up the closed guard, and I keep trying to just stand up so that I can break the guard, but while I'm doing that, he keeps threatening my arms, and he's really strong, and he keeps breaking my posture, so I'm having a hard time doing this, and eventually he does isolate an arm, and I'm dead. Next up is Patrick and Luca again. And Luca's acting like a stick of butter because Patrick just sliced right through his guard. He continues to circle to north-south, but Luca is able to retain, I'll give him that. But Patrick just kind of runs around to north-south, goes knee on belly, and then starts to pin the leg as Luca starts to turtle. He's blocking the go-behind with his arm, but Patrick don't care because Patrick has a Dagestani handcuff. Might as well call this man Khabib. He's gonna jump right over to the back. Call the insane asylum because Patrick's got this boy in a straitjacket, and he's gonna finish the choke. Luca's gonna laugh it off because that's all we can do when Patrick submits us. Luca puts Patrick in reverse de la Hiva, but Patrick's gonna leg drag the top leg as Luca inverts, but this gives Patrick exactly what he wants, which is a bolo, because Patrick is a spider monkey. I've never hit a bolo in my life, so I have no idea what's going on here, but all I see is legs and legs and legs, and I think Luca's maybe trying to capture the knee so he can go to saddle position as Patrick is coming up to a leg drag. And he's got a really deep top head and arm with the crossface and underhook, and he's gonna go around to the side right there, but nope, wait, he's gonna take the back again. And what is going on? Because Patrick has Luca's leg wrapped up in a triangle and the arm at the same time. I don't know what happened. Patrick just giggled. I think that move's gotta be worth at least 17 points in IBJJF. What the heck? Patrick just tried a flying triangle, but Luca's not gonna take that disrespect. Oh, wait a second. Patrick just dove over his guard again. I know I'm giving Luca a bunch of shit, but I'm about to get murdered by Patrick as well, so. Patrick manages to get through the guard again, and he's going to a side pin, and he's got that top head and arm controlling the bottom arm. Luca is bridging incredibly hard and almost gets his bottom knee in, but Patrick goes knee on belly with the top head and arm again, and then punches over to mount. Look at that foot slap. Sometimes it kind of feels like Patrick can do whatever he wants because he's doing the same thing again where he gets a crossface to isolate that arm as Luca bridges, and then he's gonna sit back as he pins the opposite arm and swings the leg over for another triangle. But this time he decides to change it up because the other one wasn't cool enough, and he just punches Luca in the throat. Ooh, man. Okay, so Patrick's gonna dig the underhook again and go for a knee slide to get through the guard, and he's gonna establish a side pin. Patrick's already got the arm isolated, so he hops over into a quarter juji, but then check this out. He's gonna sneak the top leg over and the bottom leg under for a Yoko Sankaku, which is pretty dope. He's got that Kimura trap on the near side arm, but he's gonna come up back into the quarter juji position and then reestablish the Yoko Sankaku. I really like saying Yoko Sankaku because that's a Japanese word. Wait, was that a wrist lock? That's completely not fair. What's the number for 911? And what's the Japanese word for wrist lock? Ooh, and Patrick tried a flying triangle again. Patrick steps on his crotch, gets into headquarters, and then cuts a knee slide real quick, turns the corner, almost gets to side control. Luca is hanging on for dear life, but Patrick's got the upper body wrapped up again, and Patrick pins the leg, which was interesting with his own legs, and oh, he's on a Darce choke. That was okay. That was cool. All right, and now after all the jokes about Luca, now it's my turn to get absolutely demolished by Patrick, and he's going light, by the way. Patrick says absolutely not to my body lock and starts to butterfly sweep me right away, but I'm posting with my leg. That doesn't help. He captures my arm and then goes to knee on belly. This sucks. I do my best to capture his leg back, which he kind of let me do, but this also just kind of put him in that headquarters position where he's got my leg stable, but I do manage to come up into a butterfly guard, get double underhooks, and he just punches me in the throat like he did to Luca, but that one was even more embarrassing. I'm not talking about the one with Luca, I'm talking about the one he just did to me. Dude, just let me body lock you. What was that? Okay, I try to come up, but he gets that Darce grip, and actually, okay, yeah, he just goes straight to mount. I try to kipping escape, but I definitely can't do that. Oh wait, no, I got a knee through and go to single leg X. I get the scoop grip on the leg for X guard and try to come up for a technical stand-up sweep, but Patrick's doing all kinds of craziness and he's able to just pull his leg out, I think, right here. Let's see what happens. I'm dragging him backwards, go for the thigh, go for the waist, and he hits a switch. I'm doing everything I can right here to not get mounted, but he's got the tight waist, he's got my leg pinned in headquarters, and it's just a matter of time before he mounts me, and then he hits this nice leg pummel pass. Check this out. Boop. And then goes right to mount. Call that boy Aladdin because he's floating. I make the same critical mistake that Luca made by overcommitting to the bridge, which allows Patrick to isolate my arm and then fall over for his triangle. I'm pretending to play defense and try to come up to escape the armbar, and he's got the 3/4 juji, which means that he could go for the arm lock, he could go back to the triangle, but instead he goes for my favorite Japanese word, the Yoko Sankaku. And then he's gonna do this exact dilemma that he taught me where he goes for the wrist lock, and when I reach over to lock my hands, it gives him the arm and he can finish the triangle. You're a crazy man. All right, now it's time for me to wrestle Patrick a lot. And what I mean by wrestling Patrick a lot is Patrick taking me down a lot. This is Patrick demonstrating later how he goes from that Russian tie to the blast double, which he hit me with probably 42 to 48 times in that one round alone. Yeah, and I clearly didn't learn from the first time because he hits it again. I try to do this little sneaky foot trip, but that doesn't work, so I go in for a single, and he's got a really heavy leg, which he pops out, and then I bail on it because I'm scared of getting thrown. But I'm pretty confident that at some point I'm going to absolutely wreck Patrick with all this pristine hand fighting I'm doing. I mean, look at that call. Oh, shit. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I'm just letting him work his takedowns, you know? Like this really nice arm drag to double leg. That was cool. And then he's in my butterfly guard, and I start to look for double underhooks again, but instead elevate him to single leg X, go to X guard, and try to do my technical stand-up. Let's see if I can pull it off this time. Nope, he hits a switch. And then we're back to standing, just where I wanted him. Patrick graciously allows me to pick up a single leg, and I start doing all this kinds of stuff to try to put him down, but I can't because he's really tall and he's really good. And he gets that Russian tie again, and then we're spinning around in circles, and he hits me with that double again. And then he's on top of my butterfly hook. I'm trying to go to butterfly guard, and I'm kind of wrapping up a guillotine grip, and I'm trying to trap his leg so he can't hop over, but he's eventually going to be able to leg pummel out to his side pin. And he gets through to knee on belly, but then we stand up to reset again so we can wrestle a little bit more. And I enter in for a single leg, and this time I know for sure I'm gonna put him down. See, look at that grip on his leg. Look at that. No, okay. I've had enough of this, and I decide to channel my inner Marcelo Garcia and go for a leg drag to single leg, which he promptly reverses. Actually, well, no, he didn't reverse it, but he does start choking me, and I get scared and then go to single leg X again and go to X guard so that I can look for that same technical stand-up sweep that hasn't worked twice, or maybe 3 times, or maybe 5 times, and it didn't work this time either, and I just keep going for it because I'm really stubborn and I'm a blue belt, and I know that I can do it, and I get a matrix hook, and we enter into a leg entanglement, and then I start trying to ankle off Patrick. This is my favorite move, and I know I can do it. I know I can beat you finally, Patrick. Look, I'm about to tear your ankle off. Okay, you're out already. But wait, no, I'm gonna sweep you instead. No, okay, I can't do that either. I know what I'll do. I'll put you in my guard, and then I'll destroy. Dang. Okay, so I turtle, and he goes for an arm bar. And it's actually, he's got my head wrapped. This is almost a Yoko Senkaku position / quarter juji. So much Japanese. He inverts through for the arm lock, and he gets it. This is my one shot. I will not miss my chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose it, and I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it because I can't take Patrick down. He hit a switch again. Oh, I really miss Eminem. 5th grade was my glory days. Oh, and this is Patrick showing us how to hit a switch. Maybe I'll wait for Patrick to shoot and just do a go behind, but nope, he's gonna Maki Komi my ass, and then we're gonna stand up as the round ends. The class on the other side of the mats finally ended, and I go to roll with a new partner, and he immediately tries to guillotine me. Patrick warned me that he's really good at guillotines, but I was prepared for this, so I start hand fighting, and we end up in this butterfly guard situation, and I ankle pick him to come up on top so I can work some guard passing. And then from here, I'm just looking to enter into like a knee slide or force half guard or something like that. He's really got that reverse De La Hiva going, so I keep trying to strip his grips. And then I arm weave right here, get a reverse collar tie, and then start trying to pass the guard, but I can't do that either. So I decide to switch strategies and go back into the same exact position I was just in and keep stripping his reverse De La Hiva grip. And then I get the overback grip and I do that leg scoop thingy that Gordon Ryan shows, and I try to win like that. And I beat the knee shield, but he's got an underhook, and I V-post on the armpit, and then he's able to reestablish the knee shield. So what I do instead is I switch sides that I'm passing to, which works because I just kind of float over that top leg and I finally establish the side pin. I'm wrapping his bottom arm so he can't turtle, and then the round ends. In the final round, he shoots in for a double, and I hit a down block. I've got an underhook, and I get that tricep grip with the front headlock and try to do a go behind, and then we reverse positions, and I end up almost in his close guard, but then I sneak a knee through, so now I'm in that headquarters position. This part's kind of hard to see on camera, but I actually pummel my right knee into that side smash position, so his legs are now collapsed together. And what I can do from here is go to mount, so I get a crossface, and then I have sort of an underhook situation on the opposite side. I lift his tricep to get inside position and then step all the way through to mount. Here I'm gonna try to channel all the John Danaher DVDs I've been watching and go for a passive back take, but I want the gift wrap first. So what I actually start to do is pin the far arm, because if he doesn't do anything about it, it, I'm probably gonna arm lock him, so he has to defend it with his other hand, which gives me the gift wrap, and then I'm able to chair sit backwards for the back take. I get both the hooks in and start hand fighting a little bit, and he immediately starts to beat my head position. So what I do is another Dan the Man thing and just get a scoop grip on his ear and then pull his head to the correct side so that I can get back to the seatbelt, and the round's gonna end. And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this and more rounds of me getting smashed by black belts and purple belts and blue belts and white belts and my mother and my grandmother and Gordon Ryan and Danaher, where are you?